Hello everyone, welcome to today's news chatter. Before getting into the important topics of the day, let us have a look at a practice prelims question. All right, so this is a practice prelims question of the day. Which among the below mentioned tribes inhabit northeastern states of India? So why do we get a tribes related question in prelims? When it comes to prelims examination, it depends on how closely you watch the news, how you are able to analyze the news according to the demand of the examination. So these things matters the most. So in the recent times, a lot of tribes related problems are going on in the northeastern states of the country. And this is the reason why for UPSC prelims examination, you need to know about the major tribes of northeastern states of India. So whenever there is a tribal related problem, try to understand what kind of tribes live there, at least the major tribes who are inhabiting that region. So four different tribes have been provided in India. Too many tribes are there all over the country. Whereas you need to know what are the major tribes of northeastern states. Kukis, Lushai, Bhotias, and Sumis. Bhotias is the only tribe which is provided here who belong to Uttarakhand. Other tribes belong to the northeastern states. Kukis are being have been under fire for a very long time in Manipur, so that is well known. Lushai tribes are spread throughout the northeastern parts of the country. Sumis are also in northeast. So these three tribes belong to the northeast. Bhotias belong to Uttarakhand. So try to give a reading on the major tribes of northeastern state. At least the names you should be knowing. Let's come to the first news of the day. Moradabad brass has been in news. You don't have to know why exactly it was in news, what is the reason and all these things. That's not required. But when it comes to examination, you need to know about it because in art and culture, this topics comes, right? So in under art and culture, brass architecture or brass related metal works is a topic. So you need to know about it. Brass industry in India started at 3rd century BC. Even during Indus Valley's time period, the brass industry was there by the end of the later part of Indus Valley. And then during the Vedic civilization, brass industry was there. So how brass is produced? It is an alloy of copper and zinc. So this technology should be well known. What about Moradabad? Moradabad itself is called as the brass city or Pital Nagri of India. So what kind of metal work goes on in Moradabad? A basic idea, that's it. You don't have to go into the in-depth knowledge of it. Patterns and designs used for decorating these items are inspired from both Hindu gods as well as Mughal art. So this is a very significant point. This clearly shows that it is one of the most ancient technology which started during the ancient times and it continued throughout the medieval times also, and even during Mughal era it continued. So that is why Moradabad brass have been given importance to both Hindu gods as well as Mughal era art. So such points are very significant and very important for UPSC examination. Such points can be asked in statements. So be very careful about it. Recently, India's relationship with the United Kingdom has been on a very good note. In 2021, India-UK relationship became comprehensive and a strategic partnership, which means India and UK can start defense collaborations also. So this should be known from mains examination point of view. The Indian Defense Minister is going to have a visit to the United Kingdom, and the most significant point about it is this is happening after 22 years. That means India and UK's relationship are in a high point. 2023, 2 plus 2 dialogue happened. That is Indian Defense Minister and UK Defense Minister, along with that, Foreign Minister and UK's Foreign Minister. So they had a dialogue. What are all the basic outcomes? They said that from now on, we will try to collaborate in trade, we will try to collaborate in technology, we will try to collaborate in aviation, health, energy, people to people relationship, etc. So one of the some basic ideas you should know in case you get a question about it in mains examination, you should be in a position to answer. Critical technologies means what? those technologies which are very important and very significant for the future growth of the country. So nations, both the nations, India and UK, considered collaboration in critical and emerging technologies by recognizing the role of innovation in shaping the future. So this is one point. In civil aviation, India is a booming aviation country. You also know that in the recent times, in some of the cases, you can see the flight costs are lesser than train costs. If you are booking in a AC compartment in train, and if you are booking in a flight, the costs are almost equal or sometimes even cheaper. So people prefer flights than trains these days. So in such a situation, India doesn't have a very good aviation manufacturing technology, whereas United Kingdom has very good aviation manufacturers. All the European countries are very well known for aviation technologies. So India will have very good cooperation and India will benefit out of it also. In health sector, India is very well known for the health sector. It is very well known for medical tourism. So UK will benefit out of it. Energy sector, India has been trying to invest more in renewable energy, and UK, Germany, France, these countries are very good in renewable energy technology. So it will benefit out of it. Apart from that, people to people relationship has always been at a very high point when it comes to India and UK. From the British colonial times, Indians have been going to UK for education, job, etc. So this was also discussed. Refugees problem in Mizoram. Certain things you need to know. One, two most important tribal people you need to know about because they have been shifting to Mizoram because of persecution. One of them, Kuki Zo. Kukis are tribes of Manipur who are being persecuted, who are subjected to violence, due to which they have been shifting to Mizoram. Second are people from Myanmar who are getting into Mizoram. So Mizoram recently told that more than 31,000 people who are from Chin community, Chin tribes from Myanmar have taken shelter in Mizoram. So that is a point you need to know. And second thing you need to know is cookies. So when it comes about refugees and giving shelter to refugees, one basic criticism which the international community place on India is that India has not signed the 1951 Refugee Convention of the United Nations Organization. And in 1967, there was a protocol, even that was not signed by India. But the point which India keeps here is India's situation is totally different from a Western point of view. India has very different and difficult neighbors, China, Pakistan, Bangladesh. From these countries, a lot of migrants have come to India. So we cannot just like that sign a convention of the United Nations organization. We will have our own policy. Even though India takes care of all the refugees, it is not easy for the government to give a proper formal refugee status to anyone because India already has too much of population and the demography is very difficult. So these are all the points you should be knowing from mains examination point of view. India has not signed a 1951 Refugee Convention and 1967 Protocol, but India has always given refuge to those people who shifted from other countries because of religious persecution, minority persecution, etc. A very good example for this is Tibetan Buddhist. Very good example for this is people from Bangladesh who are and have been living in West Bengal and Assam. So these points you can use in your mains answer. What exactly is IDEX? For prelims examination, IDEX is a very important topic. IDEX is Innovations for Defense Excellence. So it is a very, very good and very big flagship scheme of Ministry of Defense. You should know that India is heavily dependent on imports when it comes to defense, when it comes to arms, ammunitions, weapons, fighter crafts, everything. But in the recent times, the government of India has been trying to promote the defense manufacturing industry in India. So one of the major step which Indian government has taken in this direction is innovations for defense excellence. It is a scheme by the defense ministry, and why it was started to cultivate an innovative ecosystem in the defense and aerospace industry. So what they do is the IDETs will find out startups, the IDETs will find out MSMEs, industries who are trying to manufacture good weapons, who are trying to manufacture good technologies, which can be adapted by the Indian military, and they will try to fund them. So currently, IDES has been engaged with around 400 plus startups and MSMEs. These points are extremely important for UPSC Prelims examination. IDES has received the PM's award for innovation in defense sector also. So very good question can be made from IDES. Be careful about it. One point from mains examination point of view, I hope all of you already know, and I hope you will study about this also. Inland Waterways Authority of India is very important for UPSC examination because the government has been trying to develop a mechanism to improve inland transportation in India, to carry goods, to transport people. For all these things, inland water transportation is very cheap. And in North India, especially in states like Bihar, UP, West Bengal, rivers are there, very wide and lengthy rivers through which you can transport lot of goods. Just that we need to develop the technology, we need to have good amount of boats and ships. So what does Inland Waterways Authority of India do? This particular authority was started in the year 1986. The reason was to develop inland waterways for shipping as well as for navigation. So this particular authority, what it does is it undertakes projects for development and maintenance of inland waterways transport. Comes under the Ministry of Shipping. So these are all the basic points you should be knowing. Mains question of the day. India is heavily dependent on defense import. It is a 10-mark question. So they are giving a statement and making a contest. And then they are asking what measures have been taken to make India a defense manufacturing hub. Several steps have been taken. One step we already discussed, IDES. Apart from that, strategic partnership, strategic manufacturing, etc. have been taken. I hope you will study about the schemes. At least 5 to 6 schemes you should be knowing from Ministry of Defense, and try to make an answer and comment it on the comment section. We will discuss about it. Prelims pointers. In the recent times, Aadhaar enabled payment system fraud contributed to 11% of the total number of financial frauds in India. So what exactly is Aadhaar enabled payment system? So Aadhaar enabled payment system is a very simple, very easy mechanism where your bank's account will be linked with Aadhaar and then with UPI. So 3-point collaboration. It's like a triangular collaboration. So whenever you want to make any payment, UPI, you can directly give your UPI number. UPI's from UPI's number, your Aadhaar will get enabled. So from Aadhaar directly to the bank account. So very good mechanism it is, but the problem is we do not have good infrastructure to prevent cyber frauds. So because of this, around 11% of frauds have been happening. So try to learn a little bit about Aadhaar, try to learn a little bit about what kind of technology it is, how the collaboration happens, etc. Just give a basic reading, that would be enough. Other than this, keep studying well, read the newspaper regularly. These days, questions are very random, especially in prelims. So reading newspaper completely is very important. All the best. We'll meet tomorrow.